Hello friend, I want to tell you about the Opel Corsa E car. Opel Corsa E engines, which one to choose? The range of engines for the Corsa E is quite large. The most popular were of course petrols. Diesels make up a small fraction of the market, but this model is popular enough that buying one is not a big problem. It is worth noting that the Corsa entered the era of extreme downsizing. So from the beginning of production there was a 1.0 turbo petrol engine under the hood generating 90 or 115 hydrogen phosphide, but it was not very popular due to the price. Diesel engine range, 1.3 CDTI 75 HP and 95 hydrogen phosphide list when it comes to matching the engine to the car. The optimal unit is the naturally aspirated 1.4 petrol with 90 hydrogen phosphide. For the economical with LPG installation or the possibility of installing it. This is a drive dynamic enough for all conditions, works great in the city, and with skillful driving also economical. The only downside of this version is the 5-speed manual gearbox, but the optionally installed 6-speed automatic, classic, is a huge plus. At this point, however, it is necessary to warn against other engines connected to the Easytronic automatic gearbox. The 1.2 petrol and 1.3 diesel units. This is a specific automated gearbox in its operation, which not everyone will like, and mechanics are reluctant to repair it. An alternative to the 1.4 petrol is a supercharged, small 1.0 engine with 3 cylinders. This is a unit with better dynamics, even in the 90 horsepower version, more economical, and equipped with a 6-speed manual gearbox. However, it is so rare that it is difficult to get opinions, and individual cases of engine failure can be treated in 2 ways. Especially since Opel recommended changing the oil every 30,000 kilometers, which could have contributed to some failures. If you want dynamics and a 6-speed gearbox, then a more reliable choice than the 1.0 turbo is the supercharged version of the 1.4 engine. Although in reality they are slightly different units. The supercharger gives only 100 HP in the suppressed version, but as much as 200 Newton meters. The 150 HP version appeared in the sporty version of the GSI and is practically the same engine. Both can be fitted with an LPG system. At the other end of the spectrum to this engine is the 1.2 petrol with only 70 hydrogen phosphide, but enough power to drive around town or short distances. This is a design related to the 1.4. People who value low fuel consumption, not low maintenance costs, will find good, proven 1.3 diesels for themselves, which with proper use can withstand high mileage, but with improper use generate the highest repair costs. The 75 horsepower variant already promises subjectively better dynamics than the 1.2 petrol, and the 95 horsepower version similar to the 100 HP 1.4 turbo. Of course, fuel consumption can be even twice as low. For hot hatch lovers, the OPC model was prepared which differed significantly in terms of mechanics from the regular Corsa, and was primarily adapted to very fast driving. However, Opel did not continue the tradition of its predecessor, which appeared in 2 sporty versions. Nevertheless, I remember the Corsa E OPC as a very good car, one of the best in its class. However, it was not very popular in the face of cheaper hot hatches from competitors. Opel Corsa E. Faults and problems. The Opel Corsa E is not only structurally, but also operationally, a car similar to its predecessor. That is, generally mechanically solid, but flawed in the details. The most common faults concern the radio, wipers, ignition coils, and in diesels the EGR valve or a stretched timing chain. Petrol engines also have a chain, but it is not very sensitive, although it is worth knowing. Chain stretching occurs in cars with oil change too infrequently. Another problem, even after tens of thousands of kilometers, is engine leaks, petrol and diesel. It is worth fixing this during a major service, e.g. timing belt replacement. However, after a longer mileage, you simply have to get used to the sweating of engines. As for the little things, we can also mention the damaged manifold in the 1.4 turbo unit. This is the valve regulating the pressure in the system. If it does not work properly, the manifold may crack. Opel services are aware of this defect and should check the valve at every oil change. The main difference in terms of service and repairs between the 1.4 and 1.4 turbo engines is not only the presence of a supercharging system, but also a dual-mass flywheel, approximately $330 for the part alone. Is it worth buying an Opel Corsa E? This question could be answered unequivocally in the affirmative if it weren't for the competition. In the B segment, it is very strong. and the Corsa is not among the leaders. So if you are looking for a used car in this class, the Corsa cannot be ruled out, and finding a nice example can end with signing a contract, but without considering the competition in the form of the Hyundai i20, Kia Rio, Skoda Fabia, Ford Fiesta, or Seat Ibiza, it would be a great omission. However, the Corsa E is great for certain specific requirements. For example, if you are looking for a simple petrol engine with an automatic, the 1.4 automatic is just right. The same can apply to the more powerful turbo version. I recommend the 1.4T. The Corsa E also has a very rich range of comfort equipment in the right configuration. Thanks for listening to me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and rate my video. If you know any problems with this car that I didn't mention, be sure to write about them in the comments.